Good morning, everyone, and welcome into the Bozard Ford Studio for the St. Johns County show that's on in the morning. We have St. George Inn and Bin 39 owner and Tourist Development Council Chair Irving Kass in the studio this morning. We will get to all that and more. It's going to be a big conversation, but first we want to do Bozard Ford. Say thank you.
We also have Karen Zander.
I didn't know her last name, so I didn't. I didn't want to say the
We
wrong
also have
name.
Karen Zander in the studio.
Back once again.
But first, we want to thank Bozard Ford. Since 1949, Bozard Ford Lincoln has been more than just a dealership. It's a local legacy built on trust, family values, and a commitment to doing things the right way. Proudly serving St. Augustine and beyond for over 75 years, Bozard offers award-winning service, unbeatable selection, and a state-of-the-art facility with 91 climate-controlled service bays, a quick lane for no appointment-needed maintenance, and even Ford's Garage restaurant right there on site. Recognized with the Triple Crown Award and President's Awards, Bozard Ford Lincoln is where hometown service meets national excellence. Great pricing, friendly faces, and a better buying experience are just off I-95 and State Road 16. Bozard Ford Lincoln, they are driven to inspire. Also, a big shout out to all of our amazing sponsors: Vitus Roofing, Old Town Trolley, Bin 39 Wine Bar, B&S Science, Chiba Hut Toasted Subs, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, St. Augustine Handy Houses, and Sunny's Barbecue. You can support all of our wonderful sponsors and support us with your likes, comments, and shares. You can follow us on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube and Rumble, and download our app from the Apple App Store. All right, good morning, everybody.
Hey, it's the weekend.
Sorry, Karen.
That's okay.
I didn't want to be like, Irving Kass and Karen.
Well, that's kind of how it is, though. Irving is the star on this. Definitely.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's been a week. Mm-hmm. So yesterday was a big day.
Yes.
Good for you,
Yes,
Troy.
Yeah, it was a big
really
day.
awesome
It was
day.
a long time coming. We caught Ellen off guard. A lot of tears.
Yeah.
So we named the service center after Ellen Walden.
That's awesome.
And it was
Well
beautiful.
deserved.
She's put so much time and before Home Again, I mean, she was serving St. Johns County residents, of the like mind. So she totally deserved everything. But it was beautiful to see.
But you've also put in so much time and energy and effort and focus, and so thank you.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. And like I said, it was a long time coming. It was a good day.
That's
It was
awesome.
a really good day.
And thank you so much for giving us all of the behind the scenes and the tours and everything. That was very cool.
Yeah. So and it couldn't happen without a group. I mean, it was, there's some people that are kind of controlling the reins, but I mean, it has to happen with the group. And we had an angel donor that is anonymous that came through kind of at the last minute, because we had planned,
Yeah.
but the plan involved a deep dive for Mike and myself. So that angel donor really saved us,
That's awesome.
kind of at that last minute to make it all happen. So, Home Again started with nothing, and now we have $6 million in assets.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Pretty wild stuff.
So many people will be helped with that.
Yeah. So.
Blake, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, but actually I need to jump in a little bit early because I have a breaking track report that I need to show you because I was going through the cameras and I saw this on mile marker 324 going northbound.
Oh boy.
It's down to one lane.
Oh, gracious.
That means.
Where's mile marker 324?
That is north of the International Golf Parkway exit. It looks like that is going northbound up to
It's
Jacksonville.
northbound.
Okay. That's the way I come to work every day, except today I went down US 1
came US 1
here
that way.
because of coming here.
Yeah. So
I thank you for this.
For the diversion of your
Yeah.
path.
Yeah.
We planned that.
Thank you.
We're on top of everything here at the 904.
Do you think that our stretch of the freeway has the most stoppages in Florida?
It feels like there's always an accident.
Ask the sheriff that
Last
one time.
night it
Yeah.
was shut down.
Well, and we have
We're-
asked him that,
we're-
and he says that's the reason he upped the patrol out there, and it has helped. So he's got 6 guys out there on the interstate.
Maybe it's everyone just
thinking.
thinking they should stop at Buc-ee's.
Yeah, it might be what it is. You got Costco's, Buc-ee's, and Bass Pro Shop all in the same
Yeah.
The
spot.
person's heading north. They're trying to open their Bucky Nuggies bags, and these things explode.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
All right, do we have a question of the day?
All right, we do have a question today. Today is National Gingerbread House Day.
Ooh.
We did
Wow.
not do gingerbread when I was a child.
Okay.
And I'm wondering what percentage and who did gingerbread. I've done it as an adult, I think, with Blake, and then the boys didn't get into it either, so we didn't do it as a tradition. But a lot of people have gingerbread traditions of building the house. Did you have that in your house?
My mom and I did it a couple of times when I was a kid, but my husband's a chef, and so we do it at our house. And so we got the kits when the kids were younger, but the last few years we have gingerbread house molds, and so he'll make it from scratch. So he
wow.
spends a day, and he's just got this giant mound of gingerbread because we give each of the kids their own pieces, and they make their own house.
Yeah.
And so we end up with a little display of 5 houses in
that's
our
awesome.
house. And I like doing a star tree, so it's just
How do your
stars in
dogs-
different shapes.
I could just see if it's anywhere near Chile, she's attacking this gingerbread house.
Yeah.
I mean, you have great names.
Uh-huh.
Where do you put the gingerbread?
Very high.
Okay.
in higher bookshelves.
So it's more like a
We put
gingerbread
them around.
condo.
It's a neighborhood.
Penthouse. They're gingerbread penthouses.
Yeah. So Walmart did have a kit that had 5 different houses, and we used that one for a while because it was very cost effective and time efficient.
Yeah.
But they started, I don't know, quality started dropping, and the pieces kept coming broken, and so now we're having to surgically attach these crumbles together
Yeah.
so that everybody had a house. So we gave up on that, and my husband just made it.
Karen, did you do gingerbread houses?
We didn't do gingerbread houses. I don't like gingerbread. I don't think my mom did. But what we did do is my mom would do cutout cookies, literally hundreds of cutout cookies. And then my sister and I would help my mom decorate them. And we gave so many away. So I did that with my girls when the girls were younger. And I had a 10-foot dining room table, and the entire table was covered with decorated cutout cookies while they were drying. So I did hundreds. I did the batch of cookies times 6 or 8 to make enough. But I don't do it anymore. But no, not gingerbread.
Yeah. No, speaking of cutout cookies, a volunteer yesterday provided 100 cookies with our Home Again logo with the blue and the heart on
nice.
it. I was just and they were great, by the way. I ate 3 of them. But it was so cool to
That's
see
so
your
cool,
logo
yeah.
in a cookie.
Yeah.
I know 4 now.
Yeah.
cookies.
So, Irving, did you guys do gingerbread cookies at your house or growing up?
Well, since I grew up Jewish,
I mean, you can still have gingerbread.
Gingerbread latkes?
but my mom was a fabulous baker, and she would teach my daughter how to cook, and she's now a fabulous baker, Katie. So next time she comes on, ask her to bake some stuff.
Okay.
But she did the same thing, all these cookies, and she successfully got sprinkles on every corner of our house.
Perfect. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. Blake, do you remember us even trying to do gingerbread? I think we only tried it a couple times.
I think we only tried a couple times, like how old house.
Yeah, if I remember right, if you can think of Charlie Brown's Christmas tree as a gingerbread house, I think that's the way mine turned out.
Well, you know the
with
hack
the
for that,
boys.
right?
Yeah.
So if the gingerbread house implodes, then you just put a dinosaur next to it.
Oh, it was
It
Godzilla.
smashed the house. Yeah.
See, that's a professional chef tip coming out of her house.
Like it's Godzilla. I like it. So, I
That's
like
what you
it.
do. If you ever want your house to really smell Christmassy, just do a batch of gingerbread cookies. Because the day that my husband does it, it's like Christmas exploded in our house. It smells amazing. All right. You're taking a sip. Are
Yes.
you ready for
I
a
am
quick check
ready.
of the weather?
Yes, it's cold. It's cold. I didn't know it was going to be 42 this morning.
No?
42.
What kind of weatherman am I?
Oh, I'm all about the cold.
I woke up and my weather woman Alexa, by the way, sorry, I just turned on everybody's Alexa at the house, told me
Alexis?
what the temperature was, because I was like, what should I wear, a flannel or, no, it's cold.
See, I'm in a sleeveless tank top because
Yeah.
I'm a snow girl.
Yeah, no, not me. I don't like the cold.
That quick check the weather brought to you by Bin 39. Discover one of St. Augustine's best kept secrets. Bin 39, tucked inside St. George Inn at the north end of St. George Street, with over 95 boutique wines, 50 of them rated 90 points or higher by Robert Parker. It's the perfect spot for a romantic date night or a relaxing after-work unwind. Sit by the glass or the bottle in a serene courtyard setting and enjoy live music throughout the week. Open daily 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just stop by and say, I'll have what Irving's having. Bin 39, your taste to discover. All right. Buckle up, baby. It's the Hit the Blakes traffic report, part 2.
All right.
It's looking bad. It's traffic's not fun.
Yeah, it looks like it slowed down both ways.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. So what you see down there is on the right side is mile marker 324. So the 324.4. So that's just a little bit south of the main incident here on 3.8.
Okay.
But however, though, we do see how it looks like the accident did impact the southbound lane as well.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like both ways are affected.
Yeah.
So, yeah, stay off I-95 for right now.
Those poor people.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, just stay home. It's cold. Just stay home.
It's not cold.
It's freezing. Thinking about moving to Florida.
The Blake's traffic report is brought to you by Old Town Trolley. Climb aboard Old Town Trolley and experience over 500 years of history in the heart of St. Augustine. This fully narrated 90-minute tour features 22 convenient stops and covers more than 100 points of interest, including iconic landmarks like the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, and Flagler's Historic Hotel. With open-air views and all-day hop-on, hop-off access, it's the most fun and flexible way to explore the nation's oldest city. Your ticket also includes free admission to the St. Augustine History Museum, and local St. Johns County residents ride free with a full fare guest through the Hometown Pass program. Sign up today at hometownpass.com. Old Town Trolley, the best way to see St. Augustine, one stop at a time. All right, so we're going to move into the interview, but I believe you have something to explain.
All right, I have to explain this portion of it. I'm going to have to step out of the room, and the reason is Irving and I sit on the same TDC board. He's the chairman. I'm the vice chairman. We've already voted on the Night of Lights topic, but we might have to vote on it again in the future. And so we don't have to recuse ourselves from that in any future votes. I'm going to step away for this interview, and then I'll come back for Stortum Stat and some of those other items. But if you're wondering why I'm stepping away, it's just being overly cautious in case something comes back to our TDC board. And neither one of us want to, we want to be able to participate in that in the future. So that's the reason I'm stepping away.
Right on.
So I'm going to step out.
Okay.
You guys have your interview. I'll be in the green room
Okay, you have fun,
having
Troy.
cookies.
Sampling. All right. So I haven't gotten to meet you until today because you always come in when I can't come in.
And I was not bringing wine at 8 in the morning.
I know, it's such a bummer. I never get the wine tastings, and I would come in for the evening show for many years, and then I would see the Bin 39 wine glasses next to the sink and be like, I missed it again. They do all the fun stuff without me. But it's so nice to meet you, Irving. It's so nice to meet you, Karen.
Thank you.
Welcome
You
in.
too.
Nights of Lights is near and dear to my heart. I love Nights of Lights. We went until 2018. We went every year for the light up. We just started going back for the light up night, so we love it. It means a lot to our family. We just hosted 50 kids last night on a Nights of Lights hangout where we do a pizza night and then we walk around downtown and give some kids a chance
That's
to hang out
awesome.
with their friends and feel like big kids walking around Nights of Lights. And it means so much to us. Can you just tell me a little bit about what it means to you and why this is so passionate?
Yeah, I've been in the community since 2001 is when my wife and I moved up here. And I bought the inn in 2004. And Nights of Lights was happening each year. And it was a nice event, and it was kind of quiet. The weekend of Thanksgiving, light up night, the first 2 weekends in December where the boat parade and the British night watch happened were busy. The rest of the time it was dead till the week of Christmas.
Yeah.
In fact, in 2010, I closed a third of my hotel at a time and retiled all the guest rooms because December was our slowest month except for January. December and January was when everyone closed down. They took vacations. They did things. And somewhere around 2012, 13, I think it might have been the year I was tiling, all of a sudden I had people looking for rooms and I had a building off market. And I said, how can this be?
Yeah.
And it was the first article that made Nights of Lights a nationwide awareness. And over a period of time, we started getting noticed more and more. And December, which used to be considered the worst or second worst month of the year, all of a sudden started rivaling March, which was always considered the best. So Nights of Lights, and I have to credit everyone who started it 32 years ago, like Len Weeks and all the other
Bill
people.
Lennon as well. Yep.
For having a great vision, and it's now made, in a marketing term, it's our unique selling proposition, which, it's one of our major brand reasons that people love St. Augustine. Last weekend in my hotel, 70% of the guests stayed last year, the year before that, and probably 50% of them already rebooked for next year, because it's a family tradition.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to the people who come to our community, more than you think. I heard an interesting thing yesterday on the radio, and it has nothing to do with Nights of Lights. But it was an interview with Paul McCartney, and how you don't realize what how much influence you may or may not have on other people's life. He met a lady who said, I just need to thank you because my daughter had cancer, and during her recovery, what helped her get through it and got her better was listening to Beatles music. And Paul said, I didn't even know how to react.
Yeah.
How much impact I had on someone's lives without even realizing it. We don't stop and smell the roses enough of understanding how much great impact and how much joy we're bringing to all people who live and visit St. Johns County and St. Augustine. We're doing something very special, and it's a very important thing to thousands and thousands of families. It has, that's really what I feel about Nights of Lights.
It's tradition. How do you feel about it, Karen? I feel like we are uniquely positioned to be the place where big moments happen and big memories are made. Proposals, first dates, these are very special kind of hallmark type moments that happen in our town. How do you feel about Nights of Lights?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think all of us that live here have created those memories with our kids. And for me, it's a multi-generational thing. My mother moved here, and she, has been to Nights of Lights downtown with us. And my sister comes, and they do the Nights of Lights tour, the trolley tour. So it's not only, I think that my kids come home, they're adult kids now. My kids come home and they want to go downtown to see Nights of Lights because they want to show their significant others or partners what Nights of Lights is. So yeah, I think it does create memories. And, to Irving's point about why it was started, I know Len Weeks very well, and it was started because the town rolled up in December. Literally, there was nothing happening. And so Len, and Bill Lennon said, we've got to do something to keep these businesses open. And that's why it was started.
Yeah. And I've mentioned my husband's a chef. We both worked in tourism industry. I was at the winery in the early days of our marriage, and he was at Casa Monica, and he went on to help open the Mellow Mushroom on Anastasia Island. And so absolutely. I mean, before Nights of Lights, there was no way that you could survive.
And Nights of Lights impacts further out than just downtown. So like Clay Murphy, who has Sonny's Barbecue on 16, he's told me that they see a significant increase in sales during Nights of Lights.
Oh,
so
100%.
it's not only a citywide event, the beach, all of the businesses at the beach see an uptick, the county businesses. So it doesn't just affect downtown St. Augustine businesses.
The boost in Nights of Lights is how we were able to give our kids Christmas is.
Well, that's what
When
it's-
in
yeah.
the early days. I
Yeah.
mean, times get so September starts to slow down and money gets tight. And if you're relying on tourist income or tips, Nights of Lights is such a lifeline for people.
That's the key point. Can a business owner absorb a slow tourism season? Probably. Not all of them. A lot of them are small businesses, but it's about the employees and the fact that they need the Nights of Lights income to survive. They really do. That's not an exaggeration. It's about the employees. You know that, Irving. It's about keeping them employed and keeping their wages what they have so that they can survive. It's about the employees and their
Absolutely.
residents.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree.
We were living in West King when we started our family, and money was always really, really tight. But we knew Nights of Lights lights were coming on in November, and that meant overtime, and that meant Christmas bonuses. And legitimately, that's what got us through the winter was Nights of Lights income from November. And I like it all the way to January. I like it
Through January.
I like it to end in February. I want those lights. I mean, the winter's cold. And times are hard, and I want those lights. It's pretty.
Well, January is when the locals come, right? That's the
100%.
locals' time. So by cutting it short in January, they just took away the time when locals go
Yes,
down.
because that's when we rest. That's when
Yeah.
we get to enjoy the city.
And we know
Every-
that traffic isn't pushed during those nights, during Nights
The
of Lights.
tourists are there in November and December.
Yeah.
And then everybody's got to go home.
Yeah.
And that's when we get to enjoy our town. And it was my daughter's birthday tradition that she would have a sleepover for her birthday, and they would go down to Nights of
Oh,
Lights.
cool.
And her birthday is mid-January. And they would go down to Nights of Lights, and they would walk around, and they would take pictures, and they would just bet it was safe and it was calm enough
Yeah.
for us to be able to take a
Yeah.
herd of teenage
Yeah.
girls
And you can
downtown.
park.
And we could park, and
Yeah.
everything was fine. And they'd get ice cream, and they'd get coffees, and
That's
then they would
wonderful.
spend the night at our house afterwards, watching Mom and Mia or whatever it was that they wanted to watch. But that became her birthday party every year, and I had to tell her, if you want that birthday party, we're gonna have to do it 2 weeks early now, because they've changed the date.
That's
And-
the shame that they took away the time when the residents, the locals, visit.
And really, I think there's not any malice by anyone in their point of views of what they think is important or not important. I don't think the commission is trying to be mean or insensitive.
No.
I don't think that the people in the community who won Nights of Lights are trying to be mean or insensitive. But I don't really think we've been discussing the opportunities about leadership and how you have a moral responsibility to do all you can to look after people. I could go into, and I think I would like to go into a little bit more detail explanation from an economic standpoint. And I know a little bit about this subject. A lot of people know me as the wine guy and a small hotel. But I used to work for an affiliate of, at the time, the largest venture capitalist in the world. And we owned and operated some of the finest resorts in the United States, including places like the Del Coronado, the Arizona Biltmore, the Doral Golf Resort and Spa, and the Homestead. About 15 properties, and I was one of the individuals that would go around and look to decide if we should buy these properties. Probably the most notable project I worked on was buying Glen Eagles Resort.
Oh, wow.
And I was over there for a week evaluating if we should buy that. A little complicated because they were talking in pounds and I was talking in dollars, and you have to convert it. But I would be working on $300, $400, $500 million deals and understanding how this affected thousands of people's lives in the marketing and the positioning and the cash flow and what capital improvements. And so very complex modeling for people who were at the top of the game in Wall Street and venture capitalists in the world.
Yeah.
So that's my background. And I chose to drop out of that and buy the St. George Inn 22 years ago. But I still have that knowledge locked somewhere back in my brain. And so when I'm talking about numbers like the $120 million economic impact, it's actually conservative. I had dinner the other night to a friend of mine who's a retired executive from Wells Fargo. He used to buy banks, not like the one over in the corner, but like buying Wachovia.
Yeah.
Okay, the whole company.
I remember Wachovia.
Yeah, or whatever, but he bought banks, not buildings, banks.
Yeah.
And I actually shared the letter I sent the commissioners on Tuesday with him, and we talked about the economic, and he says, "Boy, are you conservative."
Yeah.
And this is for someone who, billion-dollar deals were not a big number.
Yeah.
We looked at how much a person spends in a hotel, and typically, let's use a simple example. If your room costs you $100 a night, you're going to spend $140 between restaurants, attractions, gas, or whatever in the community.
Yeah.
That 1.4 is actually a low number. It should really be about 2.5, because you take a family for 4 to dinner, it's going to cost more than your hotel room.
Yeah.
But we used a 1.4 multiplier. And then most economists use a 7 times multiplier of the economic impact. And what economic impact means is someone pays me $100 for a hotel room. I then pay my employees. I keep $10 as profit, and I put $90 through paying my employees, paying my bills or whatever. That company now has, those people now have $90. They keep $10, and they now spend $10 off of 90. They spend $80. And so, it really takes that $1 run through the economy 7 times before it gets down to a negligible number.
Yeah.
And that's what economic impact means. And the country is more successful in what we call supply side economics. If you remember back in the economic crisis of 2008, when the market crashed and everyone, and the Bernie Madoff and all that, the number one thing affluent people were afraid to do is walk around with a Neiman Marcus bag. They were using brown shopping bags because they were shunned for spending money. And we were doing...
When the big brown bag and the little brown bag came out.
Yep. And we were doing economic stimulus. If you just had every person in the United States buy lunch every day instead of brown bagging, the economy would have the equivalent of $20 billion a day in economic activity. It would take 2 weeks of people buying lunch instead of brown bagging to equal the same thing that a stimulus check would do.
Well, I can tell you.
And so it's about confidence.
Yeah. Times are hard for people. I mean, I used to go to lunch on Sundays. On Sundays, I work at my church, and then I do lesson plans for the week because I homeschool and I lead a homeschool class. And every Sunday, I would finish my stuff at the church, clock out, and I would go buy lunch. And then I would eat lunch out, and I would come back to the church and I would do my lesson planning because it's my quiet little office. And that's where I kind of silo myself when I have to do big projects on a deadline. And In the past 4 months, I have not been going to buy lunch.
And that's part of why the economy is down. And if we look at this 2025 fiscal year for the county, which ended September 30th, October 1, we're now in 2026. Bed tax collections, which is the measurement of the money taken in for room revenue only, not ancillary spend, was down for the first time since 2009, with the exception of the COVID year. And it was at negative 0.02%. Last year, the year before, it was at plus like 1 or 2%. I don't have the numbers in front of me. And the year before that, it was plus 4.5%. Earlier than that, it was jumping up. But it was a misread because the county became much more effective in collecting bed tax from Airbnbs, Verbos, et cetera. Short-term rentals is what it's called. So our community has been suffering in tourism for about 2 years now, and currently we're in the toughest spot. Some of the contributors that happened, and one of the biggest contributors that happened, was after all the public meetings that we had about Nights of Lights back in February and March. On April 2nd of this year, we had an event called Liberation Day. I don't know if everyone recorded that, what that happened.
Yep.
For my property alone, because I can give you the statistics, the amount of business we booked in April going forward was over 35% less than what we booked going forward in January or February or March. So Liberation Day put an economic panic, and it changed people's thought process. And consequently, people who were on the fence chose not to travel this year. That's a contributor. The second contributor, and people don't realize the impact of tariffs, is the 3 largest markets for Florida, and specifically St. Augustine, that are not domestic, are Brazil, 50% tariffs, especially on coffee. And that's probably the biggest contributor to business in Florida, because their winters are our summer. So it's a great time. Canada and Europeans. So we basically demotivated our 3 largest ancillary markets to come to St. Augustine or to the United States. How dramatic it was, and I don't have the statistics for Florida, but I did read in the Wall Street Journal that in July and August, Las Vegas's business levels were down 15%.
Ah, that's where I came from.
So, as far as what Irving's saying, how are you seeing that affect downtown business?
Yeah, so I'm not the expert that Irving is. I'm just going to be very clear on that. He has much more expertise on that than I do. But I talk to downtown business owners. And so, I think there's a perception that the downtown businesses are just massive money-making machines. And I've said this before in public meetings. That's an incorrect thought, because the margins that these businesses run on are very tight. So, for example, I do a lot of restaurant work in my real estate brokerage. I work with restaurant owners all the time. They're running at a typical 7 to 10% profit margin. That's a standard restaurant profit margin, 7 to 10%. I just talked to a prominent restaurant owner this morning and said, what are the margins right now? And he said, well, one of my restaurants is down 20% this Nights of Lights. So when the margins are 7, 10, 10% and you're down 20%, that doesn't take girl math to figure that out, right? You can you can do the numbers. There's money coming in from the owner to keep that thing afloat for the employees.
100%.
So earlier this year, one of the prominent B&B owners told me that they were down around 35%.
Wow.
And so when you don't have a Nights of Lights that's really bringing in a lot of numbers, you can't make up for that deficit. So the idea that these downtown businesses have so much money that we don't need Nights of Lights, we don't need any additional help in January, that's just absolutely not factually correct.
A lot of money is going through them to their employees.
And that's what it's about. It's about the employees. Can one of the big restaurant owners absorb a down year? Maybe. I don't know. Depends on how much it's down.
But one of the reasons they can absorb is that they can lay people off.
That's right.
And that's not what we want to see. We want people employed, being able to have Christmas with their family.
Yeah. So it's about the employees. So Irving's push to extend Nights of Lights, which I applaud you for continuing to try to advocate for that, Irving. Thank you. It's really about giving locals a chance to come downtown when it's not crazy crowded and you can enjoy it. You can truly enjoy it. And it's about the employees being retained and having the income to continue to pay their bills. That's what it's about.
And to just echo on that, I know just from years back, January has always been what we refer to as a medium month. Not a great month, but not a bad month. It's medium. It's okay. We're doing okay. We're nothing to write home about, but nothing to panic with. But that was also true with July and June. And this year, June and July were not as good, even on the beach, which is usually a no-brainer to fill. If you talk with Susan Phillips and look at the trends, the anecdotal evidence, because we only have statistics for the first 10 days, and it really depends on everyone's cooperation to sharing information. Optimistically, December's going to be flat.
Okay.
That's what I'm hearing, a flat or down.
Yeah.
And down significantly for some.
That's the optimistic report. January right now, the same people are reporting that it's January's going to be devastating.
Yeah.
So we have that. And one of the things, and I sent a note to the commission this morning, one of the things that we're getting hung up on is how much it's going to cost to extend it, all the burdens that we're adding that we don't have time to deal with.
And we want to get into that. I do have to take a quick break and pay a couple of bills. So hold your thought.
That would probably be appropriate in this discussion.
Yes. All right. Speaking of paying bills, we've got the Gas Buddy Gas Report. Tell us in the comments what gas prices are looking like around you. We've got Gate at Mizell Road at $2.74. We've got Shell on Ponce de Leon Boulevard at $2.76. Shell at 146 King Street at $2.76. Sunoco on South Ponce at $2.76. Sunoco on North Ponce at $2.77. Circle K on 207 is at $2.79. We've got Gate at US 1 North at $2.84. Mobile and Circle K on South Ponce is $2.85. Circle K at US 1 North is $2.86. Owens on South Ponce is at $2.87. All right, that Gas Buddy Gas Report is brought to you by Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Trouble with the law? Call the name St. Augustine has trusted for years. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, available 24/7. Their experienced and compassionate team works fast to get you or your loved one out of jail and back home. From paperwork to release, they make the process simple, discreet, and stress-free. No judgment, just hope when you need it most. When time matters, remember the name and the number. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds at 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245. We've got live music today. We've got holiday concerts presented by Old Town Trolley at the Visitor Information Center starting at 6 o'clock. Greg Johnson's at Guy Harvey Resort at 6. We've got Eddie Pickett and Jesse Cruce at Mellow Mushroom St. John's at 6 o'clock. Matt Still is at the Reef at 6 o'clock. Benny Jacobs is at Oasis at 6 o'clock. Bad Dog Mama is at Casa Divino 57 at 7. Circus is at Colonial Oak at 7. Spade McQuaid is at Dirty Nelly's at 7. House Cats is at Saint at 7. Brett Blackshear is at Meehan's at 7. Jim Johnson's at Pierre's Pub at 7. John Party is at the Amp at 7:30. Glass Camels is at Dog Rose Brewing at 8 o'clock. Live Stream is at Tradewinds at 8:30. Chuck Elliott is at Milltop Tavern at 9. And Versatile is at No Name at 10 o'clock. That music report is brought to you by Fidus Roofing and Construction. When it comes to protecting your home, trust Fidus Roofing and Construction, voted Best of St. Augustine every year since 2012. As a GAF Master Elite contractor, Fidus installs a GAF lifetime roofing system and expert metal roofs built to withstand Florida's toughest weather. From emergency repairs to full replacements, plus pavers and gutters, Fidus delivers quality, durability, and energy savings with every job. For Fidus Roofing, call 904-355-ROOF. That's 904-355-7663. Fidus Roofing, where trust is built from the top down. Normally, we do tap into the trends with the good Troy, but we don't do that during interviews. But I do want to thank St. Augustine Handy House. Need a custom or prefab portable building that's built to last? Come to St. Augustine Handy House, proudly owned by Troy Usana Enterprises and serving the community since 1988. With over 70 structures in stock, from sheds and barns to carports and offices, you'll find the perfect fit for your needs. Every building includes free delivery, leveling, and anchoring, plus easy financing options. Visit them on State Road 16, open Monday through Saturday, or call 904-823-9092. St. Augustine Handy House, where quality meets convenience and community matters.
All right, real quick, I do want to give the people an update on what happened at mile marker 324 today. St. Johns County Fire Rescue has updated its Facebook page. It says units are on the scene of an MVC with injuries at 324. Just know for IGP, one patient is being treated for serious injuries and will be transported to a local trauma center. Motorists are advised to avoid the area at this time.
All right. Thank you for that update, Blake. And we have now paid our bills. So now let's talk about the bills for extending Nights of Life.
Well, I don't think they have to have the ancillary services.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to need the extra law enforcement. I don't think they're going to need the remote parking lots. I don't think they're going to need the extra bathrooms. And to David Burcham's credit, when he gave the report to the commission this past Monday on Nights of Light so far, he didn't say they were absolutely needed. He said, if we extend Nights of Lights, we have to look into our contracts and how much that would cost us. I think if they really thought about it, the cost would be zero, because I just don't think they're needed. I think the only thing that probably would be a great thing is if Old Town Trolleys would consider running their holiday trolley until however long they might extend Nights of Lights. I think that would be a nice thing. And I think Old Town Trolley would probably do it.
I think they probably
And it doesn't
will.
cost the city anything.
They love the Nights of Life.
Yeah. But I
And-
don't think they need any of those extra services for that
And-
2 weeks.
Historically, I don't
Yeah.
think we've felt
No.
that pressure.
No.
And you're both right on what you're saying, but if you look at it analytically, that's how you can see that the arguments that were presented on Monday night were slightly based on inaccurate information or misleading information. Doesn't mean they were trying to do anything, but if you go back to the statistics, and I apologize to the commission because there's an article in the record this morning of me quoting parking and how much was used in January and December of a year ago. And I received 2 different reports from the city back last March when I was helping write a consulting plan to expedite the process. I pulled up the wrong report and it said 120-ish thousand versus 39,000. After I read that article this morning, I went back in my computer and I found the other report. And so I sent an apology note to the commission because I misquoted. But the accurate numbers based on what the city sent me is parking in December was 72,481 vehicles. In January, it was 42,899. or 41% less. When I spoke to Susan, and this is what I had thought also, historically, January occupancy is about 35% lower. Doesn't mean we're running 35% points. If we run 75% and you run 55%, that's not 20. That's probably 30. I haven't done the math in my head. Because, percentages are easy to misinterpret.
Yeah.
But the volume is down about 30%. On any operation, when you're at peak business levels, the most you can do, all the cracks start coming out.
Yeah.
That's what happens in December on the Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, potentially.
Yeah.
However, this year, Sundays have been a dud every weekend. And the contributing factor that people are not really looking at 10,000 feet, the reason it's been a dud is because the Jaguars have been successful and people are watching it. No, I'm dead serious.
No, I believe you. I hadn't thought about it, but
the lowest amount of cars available for any Sunday since Nights of Light started was 383 in the middle of the day. And the prices of parking lots where the city's charging 40 and all the lots, which are 40 or 50 on Saturdays, were all 20. So people are reacting to demand.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm saying this is when you have 30% less business, you don't need as many bathrooms. You don't need as many police. You don't need it. We do not have pressure points. And after Nights of Lights, there's at least 50 days between February 1st and November 14th, with the exception of 4th of July and Sing Out Loud, that are busier than any day in January. And I have never in my 20 years of being involved heard from the city to ask for financial assistance or a plan to deal with those weekends.
Those 50
For
days,
example, President's Weekend is always busier.
Troy, shut the door. I got one point I want to get on before you come in. Yeah, I'll be quick. I'll be
Troy's trying
quick.
to bust
I'm
in
going to be
on us,
quick.
guys.
Irving, got a point.
Yep, President's Weekend is busier than Martin Luther King Weekend, even with Nights of Lights, and we don't do anything. So we're at a false premise, and basically, I'm just asking our commission to do the right thing. And what I said to them this morning is our obligation is straightforward. We must make decisions that protect the ability of the people who afford to live and work in St. Augustine. Maintaining the traditional Nights of Light schedule is not only an economic necessity, but a fundamental responsibility to the citizens who depend on stable and thriving local economy.
Okay, so it's 8:48. I got 1 point I want to get in
Yes,
because
ma'am.
Troy's trying to come in.
Yeah, he's trying to bust
So
in on
I'm
all
going to take over your show for just a second.
for it.
So at Monday's commission meeting, one of the commissioners put on the record that extending Nights of Lights for 2 more weeks in January is essentially asking the taxpayers to bail out the businesses. Now make that make sense. Who pays the majority of the city's taxes? The businesses do. So make that comment make sense. The businesses bring in the majority of the income, the tax income to the city. We pay mobility fees. We pay seat fees on restaurants. We pay so many fees that residential properties don't pay. Just a quick cursory look at properties that Conti Patel owns gave me 55 tax records.
Wow.
That gentleman is responsible for no less than 55 tax payments, much of which comes to the city as well. I'm sure I didn't pull all of them. Casa Monica pays over $100,000 each year to the city in taxes. So to say that extending for 2 weeks is saying the taxpayers should bail out the businesses, that's a fundamental lack of understanding of your city's own revenue.
Of where the money's coming from to begin with.
What in the heck was that comment?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Do we have any final thoughts? He's walking in.
So thank you, Troy, for letting me hijack the show for 2 minutes.
All right.
Well, the good news is I can comment on your comment.
Okay, good.
I can comment on your comment. I just have to be cautious.
Yes.
With,
If
like I
you're
said, I was
going to
being
talk to me,
overly-
I'm going to put a hat on.
Put a hat on over there, Irvin. And the reason I had to step out of the room for some of the people that were wondering why I was being so quiet, I wasn't in the room. But to go back to your comment, the Renaissance pays over $200,000 because it's a newer building.
No, but I'm talking about city portion, not total. I looked at the city portion.
Oh, just the city portion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, our overall.
Casa Monica pays almost $500,000 in total taxes every year, but it's the city portion.
Yeah, we're up there.
Conti
with them,
Patel's tax bills, just a cursory look, I pulled up 55 records. Think about how much in income that gentleman is contributing to the St. Augustine city
Well, as the
budget.
person who runs his properties, I got a really good idea on that.
I mean, that is a complete lack of understanding of where your money comes from.
No, and it's painful when I hear that. Thank you guys. Sorry I wasn't able to participate. I was out there just biting my lip out there. But I'm sorry I wasn't able to participate. And Irving, our next meeting, you and I'm sure we'll be talking when we can talk together in this
We will.
discussion in public at the TDC meeting. But I really appreciate you guys coming in and
Thank you.
giving us that downtown business, and Irving giving us the details and the numbers, because I think it's important that everybody hears both sides. And my 2 cents, which comes on at 9:04 today, is about deliberating instead of debating. There doesn't have to be a winner. In debates, there's a winner. If you deliberate, you're understanding, you're getting the point, and everybody's working together.
That's true.
And that's kind of where I want us to be as a city. But excellent job.
Thanks.
I think she needs a raise.
Intimidating.
I think she needs.
to interview someone while your boss is watching.
I think she needs a raise for that
okay.
sponsor read.
And the next time we come, Troy always puts out little cheeses, and now that I know that your husband is a chef, you can bring us little plates of food.
We'll have
He's famous for
Louis.
his charcuterie boards.
We'll have Louis set
Wait,
aside.
some people get food when they come in?
Yeah. When he brings wine, he gets food.
Wait, huh?
I bring him probably
Some of the best-
$500 worth of wine.
Some of the
each
greatest
time.
wines. It's some of the best wines. I can tell you, not some. It is the best wines I've ever had.
Maybe I'll get invited next time.
So,
We invited you last time.
I know, I had an appointment. It was too late. I had
Cancel
an
it.
appointment. Sorry.
next time you know to cancel it. It's worth canceling.
Do you want to check the comments today?
I will. I will forge my way forcefully through the fabulous fans' fantastic comments today.
That forceful forging is brought to you by B&S Signs. Want your business to get noticed and stay that way? Turn to B&S Signs, proudly family-owned and serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. From bold vinyl lettering to towering pylon signs, they specialize in high-quality custom signage built to last. Their expert team handles everything: design, installation, crane service, repairs, and maintenance, with fast, responsive service that keeps your sign looking sharp. Make a lasting impression with B&S Signs. Visit bnssigns.com, because when it comes to signs, they do it all. All right, Troy, comments report.
See that read again. Now, come on.
She crushes
Flawless.
She crushes it. That's why she's the anchor. I'm just the sidekick. Everybody knows this. All right, some comments out there. It's one of the best and informative interviews so far. That's very complimentary. Yes, people are out there saying Troy's dying to get in the room. 100% true. Someone said Troy's so quiet they had to explain why I was quiet. And it was just a lot of comments, a lot of information out there. I know sometimes when you get hit with so many numbers, it kind of gets a little lost. But keep up with it. We'll keep posting. Irving, if you don't mind sending that letter to Blake at the Blake 904 Now.
Yeah, I've done three letters to the commission this week and one public comment. I'll send him all four.
The St.
Perfect.
Augustine.
And we can post that, and you guys
Anyway,
can check and do your own homework on the 904 Now.
The St. Augustine Business Coalition also sent a letter prior to Monday's meeting, and we have another one going out today. And an email went out at 8 a.m. this morning to our database.
That'd be perfect if you guys can get that to Blake, and we'll have that on our page and on our app. So
Do we have a sort of stat?
All right. And Scott, I ate the cookies. So he said, "Where are the cookies?" I meant Milano's crushed. Yeah. So, all right. We do have a Stodum stat on this day, 1901. It was the very first transatlantic radio transmission by Marconi.
Yes.
Mark Crony. I'm not sure I'm saying his name right. But he stayed in the radio world. He created the radio, transistor radio, and he stayed in that world up until he died in 1937. And this man, he was just absolutely brilliant. But he had to leave Italy because they didn't believe in what he was trying to do. And when he got to London and England and got some money behind him, he took off with an amazing career and brought us some really incredible things. In 1937, the day of his death, all radio stations around the world went silent for 2 minutes.
That's wild.
Wow.
So,
That's wild. All right, that's Stardom Stat brought to you by Sonny's Barbecue. Hungry for real Southern barbecue? Head over to Sonny's Barbecue, located at 2720 State Road 16 in St. Augustine. Start off right with crowd favorites like barbecue pork egg rolls, smoked wings, or crispy corn nuggets. Then dig into their mouth-watering St. Louis ribs and try one of the Pitmaster's picks with all the classic sides, including that famous garlic bread. And don't forget to wash it all down with their signature sweet tea. Sonny's, local Pitmaster since 1968. All right, plugs, Troy.
all right, plugs. 9:04. I'll be going live right here on the network for Troy's 2 cents. But it is boat parade weekend. So
Oh, yay!
Love the regatta.
so it's boat parade weekend. So if you're planning, plan ahead, get down there a little bit early, enjoy all those local shops, do some Christmas shopping before the boat parade actually happens. Should be a
Artsy Boy
brisk
Scout sales.
little boat parade, but it should be a fun one.
Troy, it's not cold. I'm in a sleeveless tank top.
You're from Utah.
No, I'm not from Utah. No, that's not true.
You lived in Utah how long?
Well, I spent winters there for years and years and years. Yeah, but I didn't. But I'm not from Utah.
I'm a Florida boy.
I grew up in Wisconsin, actually. So
What
the point is the same.
What if your regatta plans were to call your friend Troy and watch it from one of the rooftops?
Hush. Don't offer things.
Blake, do you have any plugs?
Yes, I do have a big plug here today, and I can officially say the Now for Now app on the Apple App Store is officially updated, so we can finally have the YouTube videos again. Yay!
And the shop.
The shop went live.
The shop went live. We have to add it into the app, but the shop is live. So if you want to buy 904 merch for your Christmas,
I want a Henley.
yeah.
You know, my husband loves that shirt that you gave me, the 904 Now shirt. He's worn that twice since I came in.
It's his rotation.
Yeah, he loves it.
Once you make a shirt rotation, you're good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're in for life.
Yeah. So if you don't have the auto update settings on your phone, please go to the Apple App Store and go to updates now. The update is available right now. So because we had issues with people watching the YouTube from the phone, so now you can finally update. So now the update's out, so you can finally watch YouTube again on your phones. And once again, if you want to help support the Now for Now, or you want to bring your podcast to our studio, you can always contact me at blakenow4now@gmail.com.
All right, and I have to give a shout out.
Okay.
Because Karen is coming back to the 904 Now with her Chronicles show.
Yep, St. Augustine Chronicles.
Starting in January.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So she'll be doing in-depth interviews, kind of local people, and
Very cool.
just
People that interest me, and I want to create a legacy project where people can learn about people in the community. So it's not necessarily like 16 former mayors. It's like I interviewed Sailor Cher. She's incredible. I interviewed Captain Mayhem. People that interest me.
Yes, absolutely.
I want them to tell their
characters
stories.
of St. Augustine.
Yeah, I just want them to tell their stories.
And this is a town of characters. So thank you for shining light on that.
Yeah. I just have to say, Blake, you're doing an incredible job. You really do a wonderful job managing all of this. It seems to me like it's super complicated.
Sometimes it is.
You're really
Dealing with his dad.
Yeah, but
It's not complicated
Sorry,
at all
buddy.
when everything goes right. It's only complicated when something goes wrong.
Yeah, when it goes wrong, it goes real wrong.
Don't sir yet.
So, all right, but the merch store is in the comments there,
Thank you, Rebecca.
and it will be being added into the app also. So Rebecca's been working hard on that, and Blake, thank you for getting that app
updated.
That was not an easy task at all.
Absolutely. And thank you, Irving. Thank you, Karen, for coming in. That
Thank
was
you.
a lot of fun to have that conversation. Thank all of you for watching. Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe on YouTube and Rumble. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.